360. You can log on in the same way that you log on for our programs and come and learn and study together with our presenters. We will have two presenters presenting every Saturday during that time. And we are now live streaming, and uh, Imam Tariq Abdul Mu'min is with us to present his program, Why Be an Entrepreneur. Assalamu alaikum to you, and welcome to your show.
Walaikum assalam, and we want to thank everybody for being with us here today for another presentation of why be an entrepreneur. As we see on the screen, and if you're joining us for the first time, this is interaction. We want to for you all to make comments, suggestions, recommendations, be it whatever, to help all of us get a better understanding of being an entrepreneur and being in business. Um, so we start with this intro here with quotes from Imam Muhammad. May Allah be pleased with him and have him in the best place in the paradise. And I have a quote here on this flyer that I put together. At the top of the flyer is a cartoon image of his father. May Allah be pleased with Honorable Elijah Muhammad as well and have him in the best place in paradise as well. We established ourselves, I would say, formally in 2019, even though I can go back to 2015, but we got more organized in 2019 to where we are now and where we're trying to go. So Imam Muhammad said, I think as Muslims, we should just shout when someone says, come, let us make an effort to improve our business circumstances. Excuse me, we should just shout, let's go, let's go. We should be ready to go. This organization, that is the Entrepreneurs and Development Institute, is organized to make sure that the enthusiasm for business growth stays with us, to make sure as many people as possible are involved with business in our neighborhoods. We are promoting and keeping things happening. Our business people have to see our roots in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's call to financial responsibility, to business development, to some economic plan. We can't give him that credit that he has earned. He was the one who excited us, the African American people. It was an excitement to have a bigger appetite for not only wealth, but also for bigger responsibility that gives bigger respect to a people. We have to grow financially. Our community cannot support our schools, our mosques, our religious and spiritual needs if we don't have money. We have to have some money. I am not going to be stupid sitting around here waiting on some rich Arab, some rich Iranian to give us some money. I don't want that. My self-respect don't want that. So the best way is the way that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us do for self. We have come to a point in our growth as a Muslim community here in America that if we don't create finances for ourselves, our children, we can't and won't grow anymore as an impactful and productive community, Muslim community here in America. You just can't have Islamic life in your heart and in your spirit. Islamic life has to be expressed in halal businesses. Islamic life has to be expressed in homes owned by Muslims and factories owned by Muslims, yes, and productive land owned by Muslims, and transportation for shipping products owned by Muslims, cars and buses and trucks, trains and airplanes owned by Muslims. The God who gave me my material flesh through which I express myself, and also uh, you all in your sense, wants us to have schools and massages of quality and beauty, factories, financial institutions, finances our schools, our people who have automobiles, who have insurance, and have not. and not have to go outside of themselves to get insurance. Why do we have those building structures? So that our spirit will be in many instruments to express itself. And I'm going to bypass these two and just go to this last one here, um, where he says, we cannot have a healthy community or a healthy morale, good morale for our community if we don't have a showing in business growth or business development. It's a must. It will be heavy on our soul. It will be taxing our spirit if we don't have a business showing in our community. Business is a must. You have to produce for yourself, take care of your own. That means your own neighborhood too. We need people of like interests, especially business interests. If you know each other and you know something is happening in your area by persons of good character, and they are contributing to the business growth of our association of members, their people in their locale should try to tie up with them if they have like minds and like interests tied together. And we do need organizations that organize just to make sure that the enthusiasm for business growth stays with us and to make sure as many people as possible are involved with business of our neighborhood. We need organizations just of business people, keep people, pardon me, to promote and keep things happening. And that is comments from statements from Imam Wanzi Muhammad on what we should be doing um, as business people. If anyone have any comments on there, we need to go back to a screen. I didn't do something right. Please do so and do so so that before we get started with these verses from the Quran. Oh, that's what I didn't do correct. Anyone have any comments? Please do so at this time. Okay. Now, where we going now? We're going to go back and look at chapter Surah Al-Quraysh. That's the 106th chapter of the Quran. Ayats 1 through 2. We was there last week, and the reason I chose to go back on them is because of some things that was brought to our attention last week on another program that Brother Malik Salim was bringing to our attention. So as we have here on the screen from Surah Al-Quraysh, Allah says, "Li'ilafi Quraysh," for the coming together. And yes, I'm giving a different English expression or translation from what we currently see on the screen here, because alifat mean to come together, to unite, to do something. Quraysh was talking to that excellent group of people that was on that peninsula. They was merchants, they was traders, they was going back and forth. As Allah has here in the next verse, Ilafihim, they're coming together, rihalat, rihalat, and they was making these journey. Rihalat is talking about in the noun form, it's talking about cargo products that they was moving during the winter, uh, uh, during the winter months and the summer months. They was going back and forth, and how in our times, of course, in their times, there was pack animals. A lot of were camels. I don't know if they actually had donkeys in that region, but camels was used as the pack animals and probably other means of moving that cargo. So in today's time, we will look at cargo ships as the rehab, as a means of moving cargo. The global industry was valued at 11.26 billion. That was in 2023. Expected to reach 4.2 trillion by 2031. That's cargo ships. And again, what Malik Salim presented to us was a connection that he has with the manufacturers there in China. That product has to be bought here by one of these means: cargo ships, Cargo planes, global industry 66 billion in 2021, expected to hit 133 billion by 2031. Uh, who I think all of us here on the call are familiar with tariffs, right? Are you all hearing me? Are you all hearing me?
Yes, sir. Assalamu
Okay.
alaikum.
Are
Yes.
are you all familiar with tariffs, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know the origin of that word?
No, I can't say I do.
It's in the Quran. Tarify, from luxury, dealing with luxury. Yeah. So they coined that term from having been doing business with Muslims years and years ago. Tariffs, that's where it comes from. Now, cargo planes, I think I just mentioned that one. Freight trains. Well, when the ships and the planes bring it in, it's going to get to more than likely a marketplace or a place where, back and business is done back and forth and by freight trains. I don't think we have any cargo planes coming here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. However, we do have freight trains coming through exactly where I'm at right now. It might be one subject to come through here shortly, okay, with cargo on it because there's a dock in Gulfport, and there's one in Mobile too, I think, and New Orleans. But there is a receiving and a receiving dock and where they ship stuff out to here on the coast here in Gulfport. 281 billion, expected to reach 509 billion by 2029. And then a lot of those products when they come in, we still got to pay money to somebody. FedEx is one of them. Look at their annual revenue in 2024, 88 billion. UPS revenue as of 98 billion as of 2030, excuse me, 2023. Amazon, 4.5 million. That was 2023. And in the United States Postal Service, they have a business agreement with Amazon. They deliver Amazon products, and 78 billion million, pardon me, $1 million as of 2023. Now, products, and this is the list that uh, Brother Malik Salim gave us last week. We kind of touched on part of it. What I and I'm glad that he went ahead and gave me support to continue doing this even before I sought brought it to his attention and got his permission. I just felt that it would be okay with him. So I'm grateful for that. So what I did is what you see on the screen, bed linen, which includes sheets and pillowcases, 43% of a $126.88 billion market as of last year. It's expected to reach 277 billion by 2033. And now these are products that he said that's available for any of us to get there. Bath towel sets valued between 5.5 billion and 13.38 billion in 2024, expected to reach 16 to 22 billion by 2034. Urban clothes valued at 371. I'm just going to go with the whole numbers here. Billion in 2025, with projections to reach 734 billion by 2034. Trash bags, 12 to 13 billion, projected to reach 18 to 20 billion by 2032. Shipping and packing tape, valued at 20 to 23 billion in 2024, expected to reach 31 to 45 billion by 2034. Shipping labels, valued at 2.2 billion in 2025, projected to grow to 3 billion by 2034. Light bulbs, 66 billion in 2024, expected to reach 100 billion by 2034. Toothpaste, valued at 22 billion 2025, projected to reach 33 billion by 2034. Fabric softener, valued at 22 billion in 2023, projected to reach 36 billion by 2033. Dishwashing detergent, 22 billion in 2025, projected to reach 40 billion by 2030. Clippers and trimmers was valued at 6 billion in 2024, projected to reach 9 billion by 2034. Before we go to the next screen, any comments? Okay.
Yes, sir. Martha Nyla here.
Back, Martha. Go ahead. I'll go back. Go, go ahead, Sister Martha.
Yes, and greetings of peace to you and everyone.
Thank you.
Forgive me not showing my story right now, but the first thing come to my mind is that wow, that has no color on it. Those
Okay.
products, productivity, and manufacturing of it is just a matter of connecting and understanding it. I hadn't thought of those items and the productivity of them, and then the movement, the use of them, and how those uses have dollars connected to it. So, alhamdulillah, thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome. Anyone else? Okay. Mops, brooms, and brushes. It was valued at 19 billion in 2024. There was no projected date of rising in price. I couldn't find one on that. Latex gloves, residential, 13 billion in 2025, expected to reach 21 billion by 2035. Backpacks, clear are the color ones, 22 billion in 2025, expected to reach 37 billion by 2034. Scissors, 20 billion in 2024, projection to reach, I believe I made a typo on this one, about 23 billion in 2033. I think I made a mistake on that. So pardon me. Well, look at this. Yeah, but it's still a lot. It's still in the billions and millions of dollars. First aid kits valued at 559 million in 2024. Um, projections is up to 941 million by 2030. Blenders, 3 billion 2024, forecasted to reach 5 billion in 2023. Dustpan set, 1 billion in 2025, expected to reach 1.8 billion 2032. Smoke alarm, 4.4 billion in 2025, expected to reach 5 billion 2033. Wipes, that's the personal care, baby, and cleaning, value was 22 billion, projected to reach 48 billion by 2030. Trash can, that's stainless, steel, and plastic. Market value 2021, 3 billion. Expected to reach 5 billion by 2031. Clothes hanger sets. In 2023 was 4 billion. Projection to reach 4 billion by 2035. Earphone, the headphones market. In 2024, 78 billion. Projected to reach 160 billion by 2032. Knee brace, 2024 is 1 billion, projected to reach 2 billion by 2033. Floor mats, that's house and vehicle, in 2024 was 17 billion, forecasted to reach 31 billion by 2033. Women undergarments market, 94 billion 2025, expected to reach 165 billion by 2033. Raw sets, market value 2024, 59 billion, expected to reach 100 billion by 2035. Diapers, children and adults, 2024, the value is 29 billion, projection to 140 billion by 2030. 2030. This is dealing with animal products. I think I made another typo. Was dealing was valued at 15 billion in 2024. Projection to reach 26 billion by 2035. Men footwear, valued in 2023, was 145 billion, expected to reach 230 billion in 2034. Women footwear, 218 billion, expected to projected to reach 206 billion by 2032. That's a big old jump, ain't it? So you women wear more shoes than we do, have more than we do. You all want to continue with the list?
Yeah, Martha Nyla, yes, sir.
Okay, let's go on. I think it's 7 or 8 slides here because there was a lot of products here. Makeup kit, market value 2.7 billion, 2023. Expected to reach 10 billion by 2029. Designer handbags, 2024, 70 billion. 100 expected to reach 100 billion by 2030. Surge protectors, market value 2025 was 3 billion. Projection 5 billion by 2032. Electric fan market in 2025 14 billion. Projected to reach 19 billion by 2032. USB wall chargers in 2025 1 billion. Projected to rise to 3 billion by 2033. Blood pressure monitors 2025 value was 2.5 billion. Projection to 8 billion by 2032. Men belts, that's leather. The value in 2024 was 1.5 billion. Projection to reach 1.6 billion by 2031. Neck strips for barbers and salon shops. It serves a growing all it has was basically a growing multi-billion-dollar industry. So that's some a big old industry. And my father was a barber, and I recall him having all of these things that's mentioned here. Dinnerware market, 2023, it was valued at 46 billion, with a projection of 63 billion by 2030. Children onesies. I'm glad I know what that is now. Sleepers and bodysuits. The market value, that's 2025, 180 billion. Projection, 300 billion by 2034. Cookware, 2025, 36 billion. Projected to reach 50 billion by 2034. Yeah, and here come the train through. As I said, it'll be in a few minutes here that it come through. I don't know if it's the regular cargo Amtrak, because Amtrak used the same means as human cargo. When Amtrak come through, you have to pay to ride that. Uh, Cotton balls, $2 billion market as of 2024, with a projected reach of 4 billion by 2033. Cooking utensils, 2024, 374 billion, with a projection of 553 billion by 2034. Kitchen knife sets, 2025 market value. Martha, let me. I'll stop here because might need to come in on. Go ahead, Sister Martha.
Okay, and I guess I don't want to interrupt, but the question on what are the factors, and we can, I guess, get to that at another point. The factors to the increase by the 2023,
I
2034.
I can't answer that question. Maybe a brother Malik can answer that question for you.
Okay,
Except that what come to my mind, somebody's buying this stuff.
exactly. And
Right.
somebody's being born, like you say, the onesies,
Yeah.
babies are being born, and such. Okay, okay.
Well, we
Thank
see
you so
that a
much.
lot. You could look around now with children being born,
I mean,
everywhere. Because I had a niece of mine. She Khadija is, I forget her age now. She having her a son, and she called me. She still have him in her belly, and she wanted me to pick out him uh, a quote unquote an Arabic name. for him and everything. And so we did that, and she she chose she I sent her three or four, but she out of those she accepted two of them together, part of his name and everything. And so and she did that on the directions of her mother, who reached out to me when my younger sister, when she was carrying her to choose her name and everything. So we that's just a trend of our African American family members who are not Muslim. They're getting the Arabic names. Now let's go on. Where are we? Cooking utensils, 374 billion, with a projection of 553 billion increase. Kitchen knife set, 2020. Most of the Karen is the market value. This is 2024, 2025. 2 billion projection, 5 billion by 2034. Towel set, no, excuse me, tool set, power in hand. The market value, uh, well, 2.5 years ago was 42 billion. Projection 60 billion by 2030. Silverware, flatware, 2025, 8 billion. Projection 12 billion by 2035. Oven mitts, cotton that is, was 1 billion. Projection 2 billion. Oven mitts, silicon, 2 billion. 2023 projection for 4 billion 2031. Bakeware sponge or scoring pads, 2024 value 5 billion, projection 6 billion. Aprons, 2023 100 billion, projection 141 billion 2031. Bath mats, value was uh, 1.9 billion, projection 3 billion 2033. Shower curtain, 2025 market value was 2 billion, projection 3 billion by 2030. Excuse me. Bathroom accessories, 2024 was 26 billion, projection 64 billion. Foot cleaner, foot cleaner, market value 20 in 2023, 3 billion, projection 19 billion by 2030. Children romper thermometer was 1.65 billion, projection 3.4 billion by 2032. Baby pacifier was 443 million, projection to reach 690 million by 2034. Baby bill market was 2 billion, projected to reach 3 billion by 2033. Padlock 2020 and 2024 was 2.2 billion, projection 3.5 billion. Luggage in 2023, 41 billion, projection 100 billion by 2035. Disposable razor blade market 2025, 3.9 billion, projected to reach 5 billion by 2032. Freezer bags 2024 was 4.8 billion, projection 7 billion by 2023. Storage bags 2024 4 billion, projection by 8 billion by 2023. And this is the last page. Salt and pepper grinder 2024 1.7 billion, projection 2 billion. Bamboo cutting boards 2023 0.3 billion, projected to reach 0.47 billion by 2032. Cotton swabs 2024 1.34 billion, projection 2.19 billion by 2032. Bandages, the market value was 8.1 billion, projection 12 billion by 2033. Toothbrush, excuse me, and in 2024, 11.6 billion, projection to reach 17 billion by 2032. And we know our brother, forget his name already, he changed the company from We Buy Black to another name now. He has he have mouthwash now too. The value of that 2024 was 9 billion. Now it's up to 15. Projection is up to 15 billion by 2032. Men underwear market, 40 billion in 2024, 66 billion expected by 2033. Pen and pencils market, 2023, 17 billion projection, 28 billion by 2033. Paper towel and tissue paper, 2025, it was 96 billion projection, 179 billion by 2034. Soap, 2024, the market value 26 billion, projection 39 billion by 2032. And the last one, Kalita, I'm gonna then you come in after I make this last one, okay? Women's sanitary napkins, and I think we did had that discussion. I think last week on one program. 2025, the market value was 26.9 billion, projected to reach 49 billion by 2032. And we have Brother Malik Salim's telephone number here on the screen, and his email address. Now, this particular slides, I have it on in the slides where I have did the tied all this stuff to what's the verses in the Quran, um, where products and services are mentioned. They're not. It's not on the other regular slides that I send out. So what you do have that list, and if you don't have it, who with us today, someone has it, and we could get that sent to you. But you can Google any of this information as I did, as of last week up into 2 or 3 days after that. It took for me to compile it to where I'm at now on it, to find out the value in the projected value of any of the products. Khalid, go ahead.
Alhamdulillah, Assalamu alaikum. I
Uh,
was just thinking about how, these are just basic things that you could just overlook because there's thousands of them. And how Brother Malik Salim was saying that it doesn't, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So a lot of people, when they do go ahead and invest in something like you do, they do the research and they see a need for it. And these things, there's plentiful of these. And so this just goes to show that you don't always have to come up with a grand idea. You can, but just looking at something and looking at how you can improve it. Or for example, I know he mentioned roundages instead of bandages, like band-aids. I don't know if they're in my mind, did he explain, are they brown skin band-aids? But they're browndages. He said that was something new that's doing really good. But just looking at this list can make just a simple person come up with a whole lot of money. Because I was looking at even the mouthwash, Sakina Al-Nisa Rashid, the one who invented Haji Original. She told me before she came on my program on Wednesday that she doesn't have to market anymore. She said people buy her product online. She doesn't really do a lot of, promotions and conferences and things like that. So this is definitely relevant. I thank you for presenting that, and I'm going to continue to look at the list and see what I can inshallah, produce. And remember, Brother Salim said that he can have it produced in China for a fraction of the cost, and then you can get it into the US market and sell it as well. Thank you. Assalamu
yeah.
alaikum.
And then that's another thing we got to be conscious of. We you got to be willing to pay for certain things. We can't expect to get everything for free. Because when you pay for something, you tend to value it more. And then one of the other things that I would recommend, that um, try not to immediately live off the profits, if you should make profits right away from what you invest in your product. Turn around and reinvest that in your business. That would be a wise thing to do. Or you might hit real good where you can try to live off of some of that, in everything. And I'm only speaking from a valuable lesson that I had to learn. I do know that, years ago, I had got connected with another person in our community, and we still have a business relationship, and everything. So, and he had the same setup with the manufacturers there in China. I had designed, I forget how many different types of men's shoes based on the brand that I grew up wearing, well, following my father. There was leather shoes and everything. And so I kind of, I sent that in, and they sent me back some photos of what they could do. There was some nice shoes too, very very nice. So it's there, if you want to go for it, um, and everything. So, do anyone else have any comments or questions before we go on? Where are we at now? Now that you are ready to get your products, now we want to look at another thing that we have to be conscious of doing, and that is, get the screen up. Kalita, did you still have another question? Go ahead. Or your hand just
Yeah, I was
still
just
up?
telling you, if you're not sitting right in front of your computer, your volume is kind of low. So
Well,
maybe,
I am. I even have an earpiece on. I can't. Maybe it was down too low. What about now,
yeah, that's
Kalita?
better. I'm talking about if your listening audience isn't not sitting right in front of their computer, like they can't hardly hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, no, my volume was down. I didn't know it was down. I thought I had it up. Okay. I
Okay,
was trying
thank
not
you.
to blast it too loud. I don't want to mess up my eardrums. Okay, another thing, but thank you, Kalita, for bringing that to my attention. Another thing, and this came about because of something I think I heard Brother Malik was telling us last week, and I overlooked this. I'm like, wow, I got all these other presentations. I don't have anything on trademark, which I know that trademark is really, really very, very important. Okay, so what we're going to deal with in this last, we have two more presentations here. Um, this week we're going to look at what is a trademark. We won't go to the next one because for the sake of time, into next week, if Allah give us permission to come together next week. But we're going to deal with what is a trademark. A trademark is a recognizable sign, phrase, a symbol that denotes a product or service and legally differentiates it from all others of its kind. Okay, that's what a trademark is. Trademarks in the United States are registered through the United States Patent and Trademark Office, or the USPTO. The definition of a trademark legally recognizes a company's brand ownership. A trademark is a distinct signifier, be it a word, symbol, signal that identifies a particular product and sets it apart legally from other products on the market. A trademark exclusively identifies a product as belonging to a particular company and recognizes the company's ownership of the brand. Trademarks are considered a form of intellectual property. Key takeaways. A trademark is an easy identifiable marker that denotes a specific product or company. It legally recognizes the source, company's ownership of the brand. Trademarks may or may not be registered and are denoted by, you can see the R there in circle, and TM symbols. Trademark protections. A trademark prevents others from using a company's or an individual's product or services without their permission. Trademark laws prohibit a business from using a symbol or brand name if it looks or sounds similar or has a similar meaning to one that already exists for a similar entity. For example, a soft drink company can't legally use a symbol that looks like that of Coca Cola, and it can't use a name that sounds like Coke. Trademark protections. Trademarks in the United States are registered through the United States Patent and Trademark Office and identified with the R symbol. Unregistered trademarks can be recognized with the TM symbol and are also protected. By using this symbol, the trademark owner indicates they are using common law to protect their interests. Trademark holders have the right to the trademark for the life of the product or service, with exceptions. The user is required to make continuous lawful use of the trademark to take advantage of the trademark laws. A company or individual must regularly manufacture, produce, market, and sell a product with a particular trademark for the trademark law to be enforceable. This can be done every 5 years by filing a Section 8 declaration through the USPTO. Failure to file can result in the loss of registration. Fast fact: a service mark is similar to a trademark and identifies and distinguishes the source of a service rather than a physical product. Although the term trademark is often used to refer to both trademarks and service marks. Valuing a trademark. Trademarks can be bought and sold, much like other property. Trademarks can be licensed to other companies for an agreed upon time or under certain conditions. Lego has partnered with certain movie franchises, for example. The company licensed many famous sub-brands such as Star Wars, DC Comics to produce themed Lego products featuring their characters. Trademarks are an effective way to market brand names. Some brands like Kleenex are so prominent that they have almost replaced the original word for the item or service, like asking for a Kleenex instead of a tissue, which is so true. Kimberly Clark owns the Kleenex trademark and launched the brand in 1924 as a disposable tissue for removing cosmetics. In 1930, the company launched the brand again, this time as a substitute for handkerchiefs. Consumer goods and pharma giant Johnson and Johnson began making sterilized gauze dressing as early as 1887. But it wasn't until 1920 that the company launched its Band-Aid brand adhesive bandages. This trademark name is commonly used to denote an adhesive first aid product. Trademark versus patent versus copyright. Trademarks are distinctively different from patents and copyrights. A patent grants the design process and invention rights to its inventor. The inventor must make full disclosure of the invention, the design, and the process through the USPTO. This gives the inventor full protection over the product or service in question for a certain period. Anyone can make use of the invention by producing, marketing, and selling it after the patent expires. This is common in the pharmaceutical industry. A drug company that patents a drug has exclusive rights over it for a certain period before other companies can market and sell generic versions to the public. Copyrights give protection to the owners of intellectual property. Copyright owners and those they authorize can exclusively reproduce the associated work for monetary gain for a specific period. Books, software, artwork, films, music, and designs are examples of work that can be covered by copyrights. They get a copyright and prevent copyright infringement. The filler must make an the filer, pardon me, must make an application with the U.S. Copyright Office. What are intellectual property rights? Intellectual property rights are considered creations of the mind, according to the World Trade Organization. These rights may vary from one country to another. What type of assets is a trademark? An intangible asset is an asset such as a trademark or copyright with no physical presence that contrasts with tangible assets such as a building, a piece of machinery, or a fleet of trucks. How are trademarks valued? According to the International Trademark Association, trademarks may be valued by estimating future profits of a good or service, comparing the item to the value of similar products, determining the cost of replacing the trademark with a similar trademark, or measuring the estimated royalties expected from the trademark. The bottom line, a trademark can be a valuable asset for a business, especially if it is widely known and respected. For that reason, companies go to great lengths to protect their trademarks and make sure they remain legally enforceable. The types of trademarks, you got federal, provides nationwide rights and inclusion in the USPTO database, allows the use of the R symbol, does not include enforcement. You are responsible for addressing any trademark infringements. State grants rights only within the state where the trademark is registered. Expanding to other states requires additional registration of federal protection. The trademark must be in use when you file. Common law rights are based on the trademark's use within a specific geographic area. Enforcement is limited to regions where the trademark is actively used. Can restrict your ability to enforce rights nationwide. And that concludes that. If we need to go back over a slide, please let us know at this time. If anyone have any comments or questions, please say so at this time. Let me see. I'm not looking at, okay, no hands up. Okay. We're in this presentation and go to our next. Where are we? Okay. I ask again, do anyone have any questions or anything that you need to ask or comments you want to share with us? Please do so. Is there anyone
Assalamu
have any?
alaikum.
Go ahead, Deborah. Sis.
This is
Rashida,
Sister Rashid. I just
go
wanted to,
ahead.
yes, sir. I just wanted to share the young man with the We Buy Black. His name is, I think, is
Correct.
Sharif Abdul Malik. And also, there's a sister, African American online called the Black Nile. I'm not so sure about her name, Darcia or Darcy, but you can look it up, the Black Nile, and um, it has about 3,000 or 4,000 Black businesses, and I just wanted to share that information. Thank you so much, and Ramadan Mubarak to all. Thank you,
Thank you.
Brother Tariq.
Thank you. Thank you. You're most welcome.
And Brother Tariq, your name with the Tariq, as you were saying earlier, if you look it up in Arabic, your name is related to the Tariq too. Assalamu alaikum.
I am going to go back and
Look
revisit
it
that
up.
one then. I didn't see it. I didn't find that one.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
then. All right. All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Anyone else before we go to this next presentation? Let me go across the screen here and see if there's a hand up. Okay, we don't have any hands up. Next, in our last presentation, what we will be looking at, we will be looking at what is a home-based business. And yeah, that's where we are. Okay. Okay, what is a home-based business? And you still can do that home-based business even once you get all your products and everything. And you might want you can store them there or have your little storage unit somewhere. You know, because it's cost to get these quote unquote these brick and mortar places and everything. Um, so, what is a home-based business? A home-based business refers to any enterprise for which the principal administrative and managerial activities take place within an individual personal residence. These businesses are often defined by having a very small number of employees, often all immediate family of the business owner, and on the upper end may have a handful of employees. Home-based businesses come in a wide variety of forms, some of which are outlined in the following sections. People start home-based businesses for a variety of reasons. For some, a home-based business is a full-time job. Others start home-based businesses to supplement their income, to add a creative outlet to their lives, or to test the waters of entrepreneurship. Home-based home-based businesses can be a flexible job source, allowing entrepreneurs to work when and where they want. There are many types of home-based businesses, ranging from those that are ran entirely online to those that run offline. Some home-based businesses are more common than others, and they all have their own unique advantages and disadvantages. Do we need anyone need to make any comments on where we are so far here on this presentation? I have the screen down, so I can't see if any hands are up. So okay, we'll go on then. Online home-based businesses, for example, are often less expensive to start and run and can be easier to scale up. They can also run from anywhere with an internet connection. Excuse me. Offline home based businesses, on the other hand, often require more personal consumer interaction and can offer a more personalized level of service. Online home based businesses are businesses that are run entirely online. These businesses can include things like e commerce stores, affiliate marketing, blogging, and more. They often require less startup capital than offline businesses, as they don't require a physical location of large amounts of inventory. One of the biggest advantages of an online home based business is the ability to reach a global audience. With an online business, you can reach people from all over the world, which can significantly increase your potential customer base. This is not the case with an offline home based business, which is limited to the local area where the business is located. Now, I just want to add that you also got social media if you don't have an online business to market your service or product on. If you build your social media page with all these different platforms out there and everything, so that would be a answer to not having um, a online business. You just build your social media page, and I think right now, uh, Facebook is still the largest platform. and they do let you create a business page if you choose to for no charge at all. However, if you want them to boost that product where it will reach a larger audience, you will have to pay them to do that. Offline home based businesses are businesses that are run out of a home but do not operate online. These businesses can include things like a home bakery, a tutoring service, or a lawn care service. They often require more startup capital than online businesses, as they may require larger inventory and may also require a significant amount of equipment. One of the biggest advantages of an offline home based business is the ability to offer a more personalized level of service. Because these businesses are often run by just one person or a small team, they can offer a level of customer service that larger companies often can't match. They can also offer more personalized products and services, which can give them a competitive edge over larger companies. There are many advantages of a home business. There are many advantages running a home based business. For one, they are often experienced to start up than traditional business. Home based businesses also offer more flexibility in terms of working hours, as they can be run at any time of the day or night. This can make them a great option for people who need to balance their work with other responsibilities, such as child care and elder care. Another advantage of home based businesses is that they can be a great way to test the waters of entrepreneurship. If you're interested in starting your business but aren't sure if it's the right fit for you, a home based business could be a good way to get your feet wet. They're often less risky than traditional businesses, and they can also be a great way to build up your business skills. Lower cost startup costs. One of the biggest advantages of a home based business is the lower startup cost. Because you're not renting or buying office space, your overhead costs are usually much lower. You also don't have to pay for a separate phone line, internet service, and you won't need to buy office furniture or equipment. Depending on the type of business you're starting, you may also be able to start out with less inventory, which can further reduce your startup costs. For example, if you're starting a service based business like a consulting or coaching business, you may not need any inventory at all. Increase flexibility. Another major advantage of a home based business is the increased flexibility it provides. Because you're not tied to a specific office location, you can work from anywhere with an internet connection. This can be particularly beneficial if you have young children, elderly relatives, or other responsibilities that requires you to be at home during the day. Home-based businesses also often have more flexible hours, which can be a big advantage if you have other commitments during the day, such as another job or school. You can work on your business whenever it's convenient for you, whether that's early in the morning, late at night, or during the weekend. Disadvantages of a home based business. Excuse me. While there are many advantages to running a home based business, it's also important to consider the potential disadvantages. One of the biggest challenges of running a home based business is the lack of separation between your work and your personal life. It can be difficult to switch off from work when your office is also your living room, and this can lead to stress and burnout. Another disadvantage is the potential for distractions at home, whether it's children, pets, or the TV. There are plenty of things that can distract you when you're trying to work. This can make it difficult to stay focused and productive. Lack of work life separation. One of the biggest challenges of running a home based business is the lack of separation between your work and your personal life. When you work from home, it can be difficult to switch off from work. Your home is your office, and it can be hard to draw a line between your work time and your personal time. This lack of separation can lead to stress and burnout. It can also make it difficult to maintain a healthy work life balance. If you're not careful, you could end up working all the time, which can have a negative impact on your health and your relationships. Potential for distractions. Another potential disadvantage of running a home based business is the potential for distractions at home. When you're working from home, there are plenty of things that can distract you, whether it's your children, your pets, or the TV. It can be difficult to stay focused and productive when you're surrounded by potential distractions. These distractions can make it difficult to get work done, and they can also lead to stress and frustration. It's important to have a dedicated workspace and to set boundaries with your family and pets to minimize these distractions. Legal considerations of home based business. When starting a home based business, it's important to consider the legal implications. There are a number of legal considerations that can affect home based businesses, including zoning laws, business licenses, and taxes. It's important to understand these laws and regulations before you start your business to ensure that you're operating legally. It's also important to consider the legal structure of your business. This can affect your personal liability, your taxes, and your ability to raise capital. The most common legal structure for home based businesses are sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability company, LLC, and cooperation. Zoning laws. Zoning laws can have a big impact on home based businesses. These laws regulate what types of business can operate in certain areas, and they can also regulate things like noise levels, parking, and signage. If you're planning to run a business out of your home, it's important to check your local zoning laws to make sure it's allowed. If your business is not allowed under your local zoning laws, you may be able to apply for a variance or a conditional use permit. However, this can be a lengthy and expensive process, so it's best to check the zoning laws before you start business, a business. Business license and permits. Depending on the type of business you're starting, you may need to obtain certain business license or permits. These can include things like a business license, a sales tax permit, or a health department permit. The requirements of these licenses and permits vary by state and by type of business, so it's important to do your research. If you're not sure what license or permits you need, you can check with your local city or county government. They can provide you with information on the requirements for your specific type of business. Finally, finally, a home-based business can be a great way to earn income. Whether you're looking to supplement your current income or start a new career, they offer many advantages, including lower startup costs and increased flexibility. But they also come with their own set of challenges and potential disadvantages. Before starting a home based business, It's important to consider the type of business you want to start, the potential advantages and disadvantages, and the legal considerations. With careful planning and preparation, home-based businesses can be a successful can be successful and rewarding. And that is what is a home-based business. Any comments? Do we need to go back over anything? Please say so, and we will do that. Anyone? Do we have any hands up? Let me look here and see. Do anyone have anything we might need to go back over? Please do so. Yes, that was the last presentation for today. So trying to make it on for at least to 11:30. Then I didn't know I was moving that quick. Do anyone have any questions, comments? Do I need to repeat anything? Please let me know. Be it one of the earlier slides. I'm willing to go back over that. We will do that.
Assalamu
Walaikum walaikum
ma'am.
assalam.
I just want to apologize because I had answered the phone and now I know that our Zoom gets unmuted after you answer a call. And I was heard myself making the conversation. I go, oh, and I'm unmuted.
Mm.
So I apologize if anything interfered.
No, it didn't. It didn't. We didn't hear. Well, I didn't hear anything. I really didn't.
Alhamdulillah.
So if we need to go back over any of the slides, I didn't know I was moving that quick. We would do that at this time. Do anyone have any questions, comments, additions to this? Need to go back over anything that we presented, we would do that. Well, I don't have anything else to present here. Sister Manira, are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, look like we're gonna have to end even a little bit earlier because again, I'm willing to go back over any of the slides that we share today, even if it's going back over the one showing all those products that we have access to by way of Brother Malik Salim. We can go back
Oh,
over that
okay.
briefly.
Well,
Uh,
you have offered, and um, so far there are no takers. So,
okay.
alhamdulillah, we appreciate your time.
I
We
think
I'd
appreciate.
like to make this
I
comment,
think Martha
Martha
is.
Nyla
Let's
here.
go her. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I want to share, Imam. It's digesting it and knowing where I know where I am at this point of and so the information is so abundant and so surprising to me on the end of the products. But the question in my mind for me is okay. What point? What do you have to do? What do I have to do next step kind of formation uh, in either continuing or and because I'm working with young people as well, uh, they're not at that manufacturing or product connectivity yet. It's going through the theory of the idea, even being in business.
Was that a question? What do you need to do next with them?
Yeah, no, it's the question is for self, as to what you shared and saying I couldn't come further because there are things that need to be taken care of
You keep fading in and out.
on my
I don't know
end.
why. I don't know why.
Oh, saying
Well,
they're in between. Is that better? I don't know.
you keep going in. Am I hearing that there's
Mm,
an interest in getting some of those products and what they need to do?
okay,
If
hold
that
on. Let me see
if that's the
if this is better.
question,
I'm trying to. I'm trying to
Uh,
But
change location.
she said if I can let you know what she said, she's trying to figure out her next steps.
to
Uh,
get those products.
your
Not
next
necessarily the things before getting the products, the moving from theory of
Oh,
being in business and of
oh,
making the
okay.
decision whether online or there's is theory right now, and then there are young minds that are working on stabilizing themselves, but there's some inferiority complexes and all of that that we're dealing with uh, as we move into the direction of being in business.
Is that inferiority is due to a fear of failure?
A combination due to failure and because the track record of families not being in business, and then the obstructions that's in with the city, with zoning and all of that. With it talking physical and well, it's a combination of things, Imam.
Well, let's go back to the fear of failure because you got to
Okay.
consider that first and foremost, in my opinion. And we got verses in the Quran that addresses that, how to overcome the fear of failure. We can start there. Uh, Allah tell us just be mindful of Him. I'm paraphrasing because I'm not looking at it. Establish
Hmm.
the prayer and be charitable, and you can expect to have a business that will never fail. That right there, you move forward with that, and you can show that even with those persons if they're not Muslim.
I,
Uh-huh.
Well, start there,
Yes.
and then
I,
I don't know the legality of things. You being in Florida, because I think there's an age limit for starting a business, but you have to check on all these things and at least choose a business name and then go to your necessary entity in that state government and register your business. Start there. Identify a product too along the
Assalamualaikum.
way, a service that they want to do, and move forward. Is that 5014 that just said the telephone number 5014 that said Assalamu
Yes,
alaikum?
sir.
Okay, go ahead,
Yes,
sister.
sir.
Go ahead.
And I didn't want to interrupt, but we need to have a business plan and put your intentions in the business plan and your vision. And a lot of times we fail in business because we don't have a business plan. We don't itemize anything out of our intentions, what we intend to, what the goals are. And he gave the solution. We start with our religion and culture. We start with the Quran, and from there you put your business plan together and try to get a team, of people who are like you. Try to work with some other people so you can support each other. And they have uh, businesses in the city that teachers do workshops on what you're doing, on how to put a business plan together. And so, and we just got to remove the fear. We got to believe that Allah want us to be successful. We have to believe that Allah wants us to have $1 million, money, or whatever, a successful business. If it's shoe polish, whatever it is, rubber bands. And we just have to stand on that. We are Muslims. We are believers in Allah. So I'll stop there, but get a good business plan and have a good intentions of the goal you want to achieve for success. And I thank you so much again.
And I want to add to
Assalamu
what you're saying on that business plan, sister, and then Khalida, I'll yield to you yield to you shortly here. We do a presentation um, on how to write and how your business plan should look. So it's proper educating them on those things that they need to have in place. And another thing I was, try to encourage uh, those persons to come into this presentation. And as I've said plenty of times, I think, I'm available to come to your location to do this on site there, and we can have more hands-on with them. And I think everybody have my number. If you don't have it, it's 228-209-2877, and we can talk about the requirements that you will have to fulfill to get me there. Okay, Kalita, go ahead, sister.
Yes, excellent presentation. I was just thinking for most people that have never opened a business, it's good, especially if you're a writer. It's good to at least, like Sister Rashida was saying, write out your business plan, mission, goals, and objectives, and also the population of people that you intend to serve. And it looks really, really excellent on paper. If you're, most of us are proficient in reading and writing as Muslims because our minds are clear. We're not drinking, smoking, etc. And then we also study for the most part. And that's what a lot requires us to do. But for me, the big thing I was thinking about is, okay, where would I get the products to make my Q-tip, for example, that list you were saying? And I know Brother Malik said that he could have it manufactured over in China. However, what part of that do I have to actually have the product already made so they can duplicate it? So I would have to research a plant here that has cotton that makes Q-tips. I mean, just tangible things that we can take off that paper because a lot of things look beautifully scripted and written out, like even in our textbooks, even in the Holy Quran. That's the most beautiful textbook. But if you don't know how to take it off the pages and put it into real life, then that's not going to help. It's just going to be a process for us to learn that, is what I'm saying. Yesterday, I interviewed my daughter's trying to open a school. Inshallah, she will. But I had the opportunity to interview a director of 40 plus years, an African American woman and her son. And I asked them what were their challenges? How do they go about it? And first of all, he said what motivated him is being stuck in the same jobs year in and year out and being in jobs where people were utilizing his strengths, but they were taking all the credit. They were giving him CEO work, so to speak, but he was in the basement, the bargain basement in the classroom dealing with all the behavior children. But when it came to talking with the parents, it came to writing up incident reports, it came for the budget, they were coming to him. And he got tired of that. And he prayed to God and he said, God, he told me this just yesterday. And he said, God told him that I already equipped you with everything you need. It's up to you to use it. And so he had to really believe in God, like that relationship. And he's Christian, but he said he had to take his faith that he had in God, go to him, and then believe enough in himself to leave those jobs, that comfortable space that he kept getting in, and every job kept doing him the same way when they found out he was very knowledgeable and knew how to carry himself and really was CEO material. They utilized him, but then again, he wasn't making the income. He didn't have the freedom in his schedule. He was confined to he was real good with working with behavior children, but he said for his life and his family, he wanted to be able to provide a better life. So he branched out and now he has two centers. His mom has a center, and also he's in a process of opening up another school. And then he has also had two or three children. His mother told me, he didn't tell me that he had adopted. And he's 50 years old, African American male. So we need to really reach out and see who's tangible in your community that's doing the work and has stepped out on faith. He also told me that if the center opens at 5, if you're working for yourself, I mean, at 7, you need to be up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I said, no problem. Muslims get up for tahajjud. But that's just what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Well,
Assalamu alaikum.
thank you for that. And see, another
Alhamdulillah.
thing again, it's nothing wrong. I think, I have shared this verse right here that's up on the screen now with many of people. And I don't deal with quote unquote religion with them and what they believe. I tell them, me as a Muslim, this is a motivator to me. Those who study, and I'm saying study, based on what I researched is where yet luna to mean. Those who study or research God's book, and I talk to them in common language that they can understand. And you offer your prayer and you spend whatever it is God done bless you with to help somebody else. You can do this secretly or do this openly. God said your business will not fail. And I have their attention when I'm talking to them concerning this and everything. And it's just making them aware. They have to know how to overcome the fear of failure. Because again, we all, well,
Yes.
maybe I should say all, but many of us come from a family of working class people working for other folk. And so the first thing we hear uh, again, well, you seen that on some of the, on coming up that I have here following this. I think coming up from what the scene from not imitation, it's not imitation of life, a raisin in the sun. Another one of my favorite movies, imitation of life. We've been taught we are ain't no business people. We're just plain everyday working people. Well, then somebody have to come in as the role Ruby D played in the movie. It's nobody business people until they go into business. But tell them to start small. Don't quit your job. I would never tell a person to quit their job to go into business and everything. No, don't do that. But do something you like and see if you can turn that into some type of whatever you're doing. You can turn that into a business and everything. But it's just lack of a fear, a fear of failure, and we just have to bring this to the attention of a lot of our young people, and that you have the opportunity to do this now. And then again, with the event of all this technology that Allah has blessed the human being with, you don't have to leave your home to make money. I'm seeing on social media platforms all these blog talks and this and that, and and these people getting money for just running their mouth. And I'm not saying this negatively, the way I said that, okay? So, and that is what they're doing, and everything. So encourage them to look at themselves, and show them some other. And if I don't forget it, what I do, I'll convert that power that slide that I have them young folks on who went into business, and they probably 5 to 8 years older now from when I put the slide together. But the point is, they need to see other, and if I should say, quote unquote, African American young people who have went or in business, what they're doing, they might be encouraged to do the same. I'm yielded to someone else. I don't see any hands up.
Assalamu alaikum
Go ahead.
again.
Go
We
ahead.
got to believe in success. We
Yeah.
we we got to remove the fear. It's daring, but we got to believe in a success. We, as Sister Kalita said, you got to use that faith. And sometimes just being fed up, you just tired of living this way, in this condition. And it's just something inside of you. God is telling you to move forward. And you have to take that leap of faith. But plan your work and work your plan. I'll
Mm.
stop there. Thank you so much.
What is your name, sister?
Sister Rashida, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, okay, that's Rashida. I'm sorry, your name is not on the screen. I should have caught your voice by now, know it by now. We had
Yes,
if
sir.
you don't mind me
Alhamdulillah.
sharing, we had a very inspiring conversation yesterday about some things we're trying to work on together in the way of business and stuff, and it was very inspiring. And
Alhamdulillah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and see, once we
I'm
come
trying to
together
keep it.
as a group and share these things and work on these things together, it will manifest. It will really manifest. And now we got a platform.
Yeah.
We got other platforms, but this is one of the platforms. Let me rephrase my comment. This is one of the platforms that's available for us to fulfill this right here. I'm on another slide here. I'm up on the screen. Well, Allah say, but seek with what Allah has given you. The translator put wealth in there, and I can understand his logic for putting wealth in there, okay? In parentheses. But seek with what Allah has given you for the life that you're going into. Again, I'm translated different
Yeah.
than it's translated. I'm not going against that, but and he say in the life you coming into. The dara akira is what we going into. And that can be the moment we get off this phone, the next second, the next minute we going into, hour, day, week, month that we going into. And he say, and this is a very strong command. Do not, speaking to us in the present tense, when they say tansad, and do not neglect or overlook your share of this material world. That do some good, cause some good, as God has been good to you, and do not seek corruption in the earth, because God do not love those who are corrupted. That's all we have to do. But we have to have the
Alhamdulillah.
desire, to desire to have more than what we currently have, and stop listening to these people who will turn us away and say, "Oh, the dunya do this." Well, you need to go back and read this verse, partner, because that verse says something different than what you're telling me. Yeah, this is very
Yeah.
clear. I don't even entertain those people. Tell them don't come around me with that foolishness. Where
Right.
are we at now? I'm trying not. I shouldn't have got all a little bit too emotional on this right here. Okay. So, but yeah, yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
So, is anyone else have anything? If not, we'll come to a conclusion here. And before I forget this, Sister Manira and you all, I was going to bring this to the attention when we was having our host meeting. Uh, um, as the convener, and well, not just as the convener per se. Well, yeah, I am gonna have to say as the convener because I'm currently the convener in the southern section. We have changed our meeting times. It was every quarter. We changed it to every month now. So that last Friday of each month, I would not be available going forward. I'm not the last Friday, the last Saturday of the month, and starting with this month, I won't be available. However, if there's a fifth month, fifth Saturday in the month, then yes, I will be able to present. Manira, did you get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was
Yes,
going to say
sir.
I should
And
have
so we
emailed you,
will.
or I'll follow up with an email with you on that too.
Okay, I appreciate that
Yeah, I
greatly.
do that too as a reminder. Hmm.
Okay, so we will play a rebroadcast for you on those days, and
Oh, okay.
maybe go over um, the broadcast and
Okay.
help digest it more,
Okay.
and whatever encouragement we can give each other
Thank you.
on those Saturdays, inshallah.
Thank you. And so, but anyway, this is look, I don't mean to boast or brag that this has come passion for me in putting these presentations together, because after I listened to Brother Malik, and I think when he mentioned the trademark and stuff, I'm saying I knew it was something that I was missing as a presentation, trademarks. And so I went right away and started trying to find some information on it, and that's where we at today on what is a trademark. Next week, Allah willing, we will be addressing how to acquire a trademark. And it's real, real important that these are professional people who are instructing us. I'm talking about really people who dealing with the legality of doing putting this in order, getting your stuff trademarked, et cetera, et cetera. Because based on the information we're going to be presenting, if you can pay all that money after having it done yourself and make a mistake, that's done with.
Mhm.
You still lost your money. And so we something there's going to be a point that we're going to have to be willing to pay for experience and know how to have things properly done when we talk about doing big business. And that's what it is, doing big business, when you're talking about bringing all that stuff over from these manufacturers in China. And so it'll be worth making that investment. And then that's another thing is, I would like to see us one day. I might not be around here, that if a person is trying to do what's right and starting a business, they say, hey, I need that X amount of dollars to pay the legal fees for getting the right thing in order for my business. They should be able to come and get that so they can go into business. And it can happen because there's other organizations. I remember this. I think I heard Ibn one day Mama talk about this years ago, where someone's ethnic group, I don't know if they Muslims, maybe they are, they started with umbrellas. If you all remember him talking about the interview, and now they're so strong materially, they lend money to them other people in their group to go help them go into business. And that's how we should be. That's how we
Hmm.
should be. Really should. And we can be that. We really can be that. So, if there anyone else have any comments or questions, if not, we're going to go ahead and close out here with a short dua. And if I said anything disrespectful, wrong, or out of order, my intentions was pure, and I meant well. I'm only trying to please Allah and do what's right. So forgive me for some of my tone and how I express things. I'm sincere by asking you all to do that. So we'll close out. ربنا أتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Our Lord, bestow good upon us in this life and bestow good upon us in the life to come and save us all from the torment of the fire. Ameen. Assalamu
Ameen.
alaikum.
Walaikum
Amen.
assalam.
Walaikum assalam.
Assalam.
Alhamdulillah. Again, we thank you, Imam Tariq, for setting aside this time on your Saturdays to present why be an entrepreneur and share such beneficial knowledge with us here on this platform. This is a class, so when we're in class, we come prepared with pen and paper, take notes, and learn and share together. Okay. Um, right before we close out, we want to remind you of our Saturday Ramadan sessions that will be held here on American Muslim 360 every Saturday of Ramadan from 2 to 4:30 p.m. That's Eastern Time. Make sure you set it for Eastern Time so you can make the adjustments for your time zone. So that'll be 2 to 4:30 Eastern Time. And that'll be 1 to 3:30. Um, let me get that right. Make your own adjustment. I don't want to say it wrong.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So make your own adjustment, but that'll be the Eastern Time zone. 2 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, this month in February 22nd, Sunday, um, Muslim Marriage Network Committee is having a all brothers meeting uh, from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is a Zoom meeting. This is the second one for the brothers, and Imam um,
Furqan Muhammad.
Furqan Muhammad will be facilitating that brothers meeting, and we will also have one for sisters from 2 until 4, same time. Uh, and Sister Karan Shakir will be facilitating that uh, National Sisters meeting on the same day. That's February 22nd during the month of Ramadan. Uh, and don't forget to support our Muslim Journal as well. Uh, so later today, we have, of course, our programming on AM 360. Al Islam in Focus will be presenting later today, right here on AM 360, and that is from 5 to 6 p.m. And after that, we will have programming from Sister Martha Nyla from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on American Muslims 360. And that program is, I'm sorry, I don't want to give any wrong information, just consulting my notes really quickly. And then Al Islam in Focus from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and CWSC National Town Hall, straight to the point, from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And so there's more to come here on American Muslim 360 later today. So please stay tuned after you take your break. All right. So thank you for being here with us today. And we look forward to you coming back and uh, being a part of AM 360.
Oh, okay. All right. So piece of cake.
All right.
Just a kick, dog.
All right. Okay, so there's something else going on. So we're going to end our programming for today. And again, we thank you for being here. So we're going to leave you with the greetings of peace, of Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, that's right. They don't support us at all.